What's up guys, Static here and welcome back to Spawn Point. In today's episode we're in our new test facility which I'd like to call Black Aperture, so let me show you around. So as you can see right off the bat there's a huge improvement to our new facility. It looks a lot better than the previous one. Also the lighting is now in the roof as opposed to in the pads. This affords us a lot of benefits that I won't really go into at the moment now. Suffice it to say that one of the main benefits is that it's not going to explode when we go to test TNT. Unfortunately the facility isn't at 100% capability at the moment. The lights in the viewing area here don't turn off yet. However, the lights on the inside do turn off and makes the testing area sufficiently dark enough to allow mobs to spawn, which I'll show you guys really quickly. As you can see, very quickly we get a lot of mobs spawning. And this is with me pressed right up against the glass as well. So it's quite clear that the facility is more than big enough to allow mobs to spawn, and it's more than dark enough in there, even with the observation area lit up, to also allow mobs to spawn. Now another one of the changes you might have noticed is that we don't have the water canals in the middle. Instead, Black Aperture's spawning grounds come complete with genuine bottomless pit. Alright, so with the introductions out of the way, let's get into testing. So in the last episode, I promised you that in today's episode we were going to test TNT. Now, as I mentioned in the last episode, TNT isn't exactly the most useful block to test. However, I can understand why people are curious about it, as TNT does in many cases act like a transparent block, and in most cases mobs aren't able to spawn on transparent blocks, so there's a good chance that mobs won't be able to spawn on TNT. However, we're going to put that to the test today. Alright, so now with our new pads completely covered in TNT, let's flick off the lights, see what happens, and hope that this time our facility doesn't blow up. Now keep in mind that, as I've said, it is more than dark enough in there for mobs to spawn. There is a too high clearance between the TNT and the roof, and I'm more than 24 blocks away from at least some of the pads, so mobs should be spawning if they are able to. And also I'd like to mention that I've made this test facility in my new stone brick test world, with absolutely no caves or anything else around within 144 blocks of the facility, and so there's no other place in this world for mobs to spawn except for on these pads. So if mobs are indeed able to spawn on TNT, we should have seen spawns by now, so I'm going to say that TNT is busted as a spawnable block. So quite clearly guys, that means that TNT goes into our non-spawnable box along with single half slabs, repeaters and cake. Now if there's a block up on this wall that you'd like to see tested, be sure to vote for it in the comments down below, and if there's a block that you'd like to see tested that isn't up here yet, feel free to suggest it in the comments section below, and if there's room on the wall and if enough people want to see it tested, I'd be happy to chuck it up there. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode and I'll see you next time.